Greetings, my people. This is Okute Daily Talk, Channel 1, where truth is the order of the day. In my broadcast or in my channel, we don't paint words. We say things the way they are, to the hearing of each and every one of Biafrans out there, for their understanding, for their cooperation on our daily struggle for the Biafran restoration. Let's get straight into the news of the day. But before I proceed, please, I would also like to see your comments anytime I drop any content. Let me know what you think. Just with your content, you can make me a better broadcaster. So please, each time you watch my content, always lay your complaint. If the one I did is good, please give me a thumb up. If the one I did is not good, please tell me the area I did not do it well for a better broadcast next time. So let's jump straight into the business of the day. Please tighten your seatbelt because the pilot is about to move. Nnamdi Kanu, 3 justices on appeal court panel transferred. Biafra, but in their resentful character, they called ipob jobless youths, miscreants, and recharge card freedom fighters. That is what they're saying. Yet, Biafra keep giving them sleepless nights. Biafra, the purpose, conviction, and the zeal of ipob member fighting for freedom. Appeal court ruling. Malami is pursuing shadow. Igbo governors as matter, said by ipob. So, my dear people, let's hit the road, or let's hit the music running, because we have a lot on our hands today. Biafra, the appeal court judgment and its court resolutions binding on the federal government of Nigeria to stop mishandling and release Chief Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let's move to the business of the day. Biafra, in their resentful character, they call us jobless youths. They call us miscreants. They call us all sorts of names. Yet they are having sleepless nights concerning Biafra. This world no balance. We are the choosing generation. What we are fighting for is freedom and nothing much. So anyone that sees any other thing different, that is his or her own cup of tea. Biafra has come to stay. And that is how Chukwu Okeabiama have designated it and designed it. So, my good people of Biafra, the listeners worldwide, both home and abroad, all the lovers of freedom, here is the news in full. When the Biafra nationalist leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu initiated the logic and the concept of self-determination through civil approach aimed towards the realization of a free Biafra nation, they reprobated him and his freedom ideology movement. ipob were scorned at, and the people of Nigeria made jest of him and his followers, referring to them as jobless youths, illiterates, motor park touts, miscreants, and to cap it all, they call recharge cars and career freedom fighters. We are moving forward. They will collect woto. They were without devoid of any form of sound and superior reasoning, nor opinions as to why they want the indigenous people of Biafra to jettison her quest for a free Biafra state. All these government helens and minions were recruited with the sole aim of attacking the indigenous people of Biafra, online and offline, just to make the people of Biafra to cower and to forfeit their inalienable right to self-determination and embrace a nation full of ethnicity, background, hatred for one another, most especially against a particular ethnic group in Nigeria. Religious places were not left out, as some of them thinking that with restoring a Saint Biafra nation in Africa continent, we put a mere ordained to their mind game business or surrendering their gullible worshippers and their hard-earned money in the form of buying stickers, calendar, handkerchief, aprons, oil for miracles, and protection while they buy SUV bulletproof cars. We are busy working secretly in tandem with the government and her security agents to unlawfully molest, harass, and embarrass, intimidate, kidnap, forcibly disappearance, torture, arrest, summary execution, so as to instill fear in our people to abandon the Biafra restoration project, which is not going to be so. We are more smarter than they are, and we must get what we are looking for. Biafra is the final hope. Biafra is our last hope, and no one is going to stop us, because the God Almighty is always there for us. To buttress my point as to where we are as a people today and why our logic is far superior over those government hirings and agents that we are recruited to scorn at us with their resentful characters. It was around 2017 I attended the World Youth Crusade hosted by Reverend Father Abubakar, who invited many notable men in the country to speak to the Nigerian youth. Then, while Marginalization Kanu was in detention, I came to the program the very first day, and they didn't talk about Marginalization Kanu's freedom, and nobody raised a Biafra flag. So I went home and prepared for the second day of the program. Then the second day came. I met a tailor and got myself few Biafra flags, which I shared to some lovers of freedom I met at the crusade ground. We had danced to the altar during the offering with the flags waved each, that the cameras broadcast the crusade to the entire world carried it. Reverend Father Abubakar ordered his security men to seize our flags, understandably, because the government will use it against his church and administration. Though it was late because we already raised uproar and highlighted the desire flyer in our people to say something concerning the Biafra struggle and Marginalization Kanu's freedom in that program. To our surprise, many of our people joined us to dance and raise Biafran flags. The security men seized all the Biafran flags, but I had to run around the premises with one I was holding with me. I gave them tough time to get hold of me until they were able to catch me, overpower me, and took the Biafra flag away. I smiled, stood up, dusted myself, and went back to my seat to continue with the church program. That very day, I felt like a king, not minding what people will say. To me, it is not all right that such thousands of people will gather together in Igbo land without someone creating an awareness about Marginalization Kanu freedom and Biafra being raised to the consciousness of our people. Today, our argument has won the Nigerian government even in her own court, and they have refused to obey court order, leading to contempt of court order and its proceedings. Today, we are not miscreants, jobless youths, illiterates, nor recharged cars and career freedom fighters. Rather, the same people that scorn at us wants to identify with us. That is the gospel truth, and that is where we stand. Who never agree at first will surely agree when the time is right. Biafra have come to stay. No one, and I repeat, no one, in anywhere, in any office, in any house, in any room, anywhere they gathered, and saying that the Biafra cannot stand, I pity that person, because we are strong. The stronghold of the eastern region, and also the stronghold of Nigeria at large. We can stand any pressure, anytime, any day, and we are not shaking, because the God Almighty, is there with us. So let's go straight into another news of today. Biafra, the purpose, conviction, and the zeal of ipob member fighting for freedom. So let's tell the world our zeal, our purpose, what we have in mind for fighting for Biafra. This is the independencia of Biafra. We are going to get it soon or sooner. Have you thought for a minute why you fight for freedom as an ipob member? Why you stay online all day spreading the gospel, revealing the truth, and debunking the lies of enemies and our collective oppressors? As a bona fide member of a ipob family, you have been doing this for years without minding the cost of what you lose. Why you go on the streets to protest against the oppressors, demanding for your right to be free. Sometimes you wonder why you are not getting tired of agitating for your freedom, not even at the face of life-threatening situations. You still stand strong as an ipob family member, even when it seems like we are not being heard, we are not being given necessary attention. Results seems not to be coming. Yet, we still remain resolute and constant because we believe the word of the liberator of our time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the cause of our agitation. You see, a genuine family member of ipob is ordained for the restoration of Biafra. You are chosen by the Chukwu Abiyama to restore his kingdom here on earth. That is why when you see with your two eyes the killings of your fellow comrade, you there won't shake. You become more fearless. You still stand strong and keep on marching forward for our liberation. We are liberated. We are the children of Zion, and we are the chosen one. Biafra have come to stay. No one, I repeat, no one in anywhere is going to stop it. It can only take time, but it must surely come to pass. You, as a genuine family member of ipob, is ordained to the restoration of Biafra. You are chosen by the Chukwu Abiyama. I repeat myself, you have been chosen by the Chukwu Abiyama. So what we are doing today is not illegal. Rather, it's a legal thing for people who have fought for the 60-something years ago. They deserve to be free. They deserve to have their own independence. They deserve to have their own state of the nation, because Biafra is a nation and not a state and not a region. So the time has come for the liberation of Biafra, for the restoration of Biafra, and for the Nigerian government to give us a referendum. We are waiting for that day to come. This is because of your resolved conviction, zeal, and the defined purpose to be liberated from oppression, subjugation, slavery, and neocolonialism. Every man or generation has a purpose given to them to accomplish on this earth before we sojourn to the great life beyond. You wake up early in the morning to realize that some of your fellow ipob members were attacked, abducted, and killed in the middle of the night by the Nigerian so-called soldiers, police, and the DSS. Yet it didn't break you down. One may wonder what is motivating you. Many ipob members are in a different detention centers. Many were being summarily executed by the Nigerian government security agents, while many have died of bullet wounds. These innocent people are still paying the price of freedom to this moment. Don't you know that the existence of Biafra is a threat to the enemies of our oppressors? You march on the street of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria with your full chest, with no atom of fear in you. This and many others you do as an ipob member gives our enemies broad day nightmare and sleepless nights. That is exactly the point. We are moving forward. We are marching forward. Because the song always said that we are marching forward according to the people who sang the song. So we are marching forward fearlessly, like a fearless lion in the jungle. We are in this jungle, and we must succeed in this jungle. Nothing is going to stop us. The difference between you as an ipob family member and those of them saboteurs and enemies in the disguise is the zeal, passion, purpose, and conviction in the fighting for your freedom. You are aware. You sacrifice your comfort, sacrifice your money, sacrifice your time, your life, and your blood. That is what makes you different, and that is what the enemies fear much. They tremble when they see you as an ipob member walking down the street peacefully. Of course, they expected us to die, but we are not dying. They expect us to vanish from the surface of the earth, but we cannot. No any hooks and cranes of this war you go, you can never find a Biafran man. We are accommodating. We are peace lovers. We do things that anyone cannot do because that is how God has designed us to be. I tell you, my people, we are peace-loving people and we don't kill. We are not known by murder. We are not known by causing havoc in the society. We are peace-loving people. I repeat again, we love one another and we keep peace anywhere we go. We develop anywhere we find ourselves. It will be very difficult for you to see any other tribe that do the way we do it, both home and both abroad. So get it right or forget it. What if there was no ipob? What if there was no Marginalization? Okechukwu Kanu? Would you be bold enough talking and agitating for Biafra today and now? All these are happening because of your conviction that we are not here for crumbs. There are many groups today that are claiming to be fighting for Biafra, and where are they? Their blueprints today, and you still remain resolute as an ipob member. You believe and we are convinced that under ipob, Biafra shall be restored. No one forced you or bullied you to be part of ipob. This is your conviction. When you wake up and still get addressed as a Nigerian, it gives you more reason to fight for your freedom as an ipob member. When we walk out and see the injustice against our people, it gives you more purpose to fight for your freedom. When innocent young Biafrans were killed in cold blood by the Nigerian government, security agents, it gives you more boldness to fight for your freedom. All this you do because you have a purpose. As directed by Marginalization would always say, no one can be like ipob. Till now, no one have ever been like ipob. They can pretend, they can boast, and parade themselves at autopilots. They lack the conviction, zeal, and purpose of ipob. This is why you are a special breed as an ipob member. That is the problem. I must emphasize on this very point. How many groups do we have in this Biafran struggle? Others are calling themselves ipob autopilots, while others are saying they are down pilots. Where are we going to Igbo? Is this popular saying that in the Igbo? Why must we come to in this kind of struggle, whereby we need unity to stand to get what we are looking for? We need unity to stand to gain the freedom we have been fighting for years. We need unity because this Biafra have not come today. The Biafra have been here. Our forefathers have fought for this Biafra. Yet we are here. Others are bringing some kind of dirty character that is not supposed to be in the struggle for the Biafra. Others, because of their own selfish desire, because of their own stomach infrastructure, they bent on destroying this image called ipob. Please, my dear people, wherever you are this moment hearing my voice, please and please again, let's speak with one mind. Let's act with one mind. Let this struggle be with one mind. Divided we fall, but united we stand. And as I decree, please, my dear listeners, pass on this message. We need to be with one mind. I want you to understand the time we are into. This is the time to prove the enemies once again that ipob is whiter than white and whiter than snow. They can accuse us all they want. They can blackmail us all they want. They can mock us all they want. They can fabricate lies against us all they want. They can pretend to be with us all they want. Deep down in them, they know they are never be like ipob. No one can sacrifice what ipob has sacrificed and still sacrificing for the freedom of Biafra. For years, ipob members have been defended this struggle with their lives. This is the zeal in you. You remain loyal to the command and control structure even when it seems deprives you. Even when it seems they deprives you of your comfort because you have a purpose. ipob still remains the only genuine force to restore Biafra. The enemies knows this. That is why they are fighting you. They are doing all they can to destroy ipob. Anytime they wake up and still realize that the ipob is still intact and active, fear grips them all over. As Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will always say, before ipob, none has ever been like ipob. Till now, none is like ipob. And after ipob have restored Biafra, none can ever be like ipob. For we are a special breed of people. We are Umu Chineke, the special breed. We have the zeal, conviction, and purpose of restoring Biafra as a nation in us. And that is why we are consistent. All these and many more are of the nightmares of the enemies who is bent on destroying Biafra anytime, any day. The master will be home soon. Will you be counted as a faithful? That is the question we need to ask ourselves, and that question demands an answer. When the master is back home, can you be counted faithful of defending this struggle? Can you be counted faithful of doing the right things that you're supposed to do for this restoration of the Biafra to manifest as soon as possible? Please answer this question yourself. Let's move ahead, because we have a lot to discuss on this our struggle. We have a lot to expatiate on this very struggle of Biafra restoration. Be proud of who you are. You never know how high you are being placed until you are out. For it is an honor and privilege to be part of the global and noble family member of the indigenous people of Biafra, ipob. So that is it, my people. Let's move straight into the news that is more appealing and more also enlightening to our souls. Appeal court ruling. Malami is pursuing a shadow. Igbo governors as matter. Look at what ipob is saying. Telling to Malami, sorry to say, my dear people, Malami is trying to use the Igbo elders, Igbo governors, and the Igbo elites to fight against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but he failed. Let's see what happened. The attention of the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra, ipob, under the leadership and command of the great liberator and prophet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has been drawn to the unintelligent, disgraceful, and incoherent statement credited to the Attorney General Alhaji Abubakar Malami, to the effect that the Igbo governors and politicians will decide whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released unconditionally. He is trying to implicate the Igbo elders so that at the end they will say that Igbo elders are the one that asked the so-called AGF not to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But let's move ahead. We will find out what happens. What a cloning statement from the Chief Law Officer of Nigeria, a son for that matter, who should know better. Such illogical statement from the Nigerian government and its official is among many justifications for calling Nigeria the Geological Republic of Nigeria. ipob believes that these Igbo governors and the politicians that Malami want to turn into a reviewing panel of the judgment of the competent court of jurisdiction, the court of appeal, know the game and evil intention of AGF, and will certainly not fall for his Greek poison, packaged in the deceptive form of making them relevant. ipob can confidently proceed that these governors and politicians are more intelligent than the Fulani quota system, Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation. This Fulani gang of sponsoring government think that their divide and conquer and rule tactics will work for them this time around in their attempt to try and shift the responsibility of the continued illegal incarceration of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra on the governors and politicians of the Southeast extraction. Their agenda to create confusion and more problems in Igbo land won't work. We will not allow them to do things, this again to our people, because they have been using our people. Well, I did not blame them. It was those who allowed them to be used, they can use. Because you cannot tell me a grown-up man, till now you are still being a servant in the government of your own people. Your people elected you, but at the end of the day, They turn the election to selection, bringing in who they will use to perpetrate all their evil acts in the land of Biafra, which is not so. We have been marginalized. The inhuman treatment we receive from Nigerian government on daily basis is really alarming. IPOB wants to ask Malami, when did the Igbo governors and politicians become a court of superior mandate in Nigeria to decide if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, will be released unconditionally or not? After the Court of Appeal, the second highest court of competent jurisdiction, has made a well-resound ruling already. That is the question we need to ask ourselves here. When you went to abduct the leader of the ipob, you did not ask or seek for the opinions of the eastern governors. Now it is time to free him. You are seeking for their opinion. Who that opinion help? That is the question we need to ask you, Malami. Who the opinion help? It seems Malami does not have a buckle to approach the Supreme Court now that the aeroplane turner is no longer in charge. The desire to supplement for the foreclose that channel with trying to implicate governors and politicians of southeast origin. Igbo governors and politicians should understand this gimmick before going to any meeting that the caliphate government will call them to. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was discharged and acquitted by the appeals court, not by Igbo governors or politicians. But if any Igbo governor or politician choose to be willing to be a willing tool and the useful idiots of the caliphate, let that soul take over the responsibility of deciding if Ohamadike will be released or not, without that individual or group to do what they can, because ipob is made from heaven, and so shall it remain both now and forever. Malami and APC government must release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, as declared by the appeal court and recommended by the UN Human Rights Working Group without delay, because he committed no crime known to either local or international law. Malami have been releasing terrorists from prison without taking them to court, but have decided to play a demigod by his attempt to disregard and disobey the judgment of the Court of Appeal, as it has ignored the opinion of the United Nations Human Rights Working Committee on the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally and with the adequate compensation. Nigeria shows deaf ear, and I hope when this thing will turn against them, they will not regret it, because had I know always comes at last. I cannot see how a renowned son, for that matter, who said he practiced law or studied law, now had decided to disobey the rule of law in the same country. He is the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, for that matter. Well, let's see where this gara will get into. We are still wondering how this kind of individual become a lawyer, let alone become the Attorney General of a supposed democratic nation. That is the gospel truth. The post he found himself today, I'm talking about Malami, is not by merit, it is by appointment, because the Fulani is the one ruling. So they bring all their family members, brothers and sisters from different parts of the neighboring country to come and take office in our land. The foreigners we welcome to our land is now turning us, the owners of the land, to refugees. But Chukwu Okeabiama will never allow that to happen. If an Attorney General of the nation, who is supposed to uphold the justice system in a constitutional democracy, is the one destroying the rule of law, then Nigerians are in a big political mess with this kind of government officials saddled with immense responsibility of governance and upholding the law. Well, my dear friend, let me correct you here. What these people are trying to do is to destroy the country, and they will go back to where they come from. The problem we are having here is not them, but the problem we are having here is our own. I mean, the owners of the land, the Nigerians following them, because definitely they will destroy the country. You have seen it. The signs have been there on daily basis. Building a railway from Nigeria to Maradi, we borrowed 1.9 billion to accomplish that. What had that got to do with our economy? Instead of improving it, it will bringing in more touts from the neighboring country who come here to bring unrest to the citizens of the country. They are trying to destroy the country, and what they are done, all of them will vanish and go to their own country. And that is the problem we are having here. But those of us who are the owners of the land that is following them don't understand the lyrics of the music. Anyway, let's move ahead because we still have a lot to discuss on this very matter. Malami, your flagrant disobedience to the appeals court and the United Nations Human Rights Working Group rulings and opinions, respectively, on the issue of the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu will secure you a room in the ICC jail in the future. If you think Mazi Ahmadike Kanu or ipob will surrender or retreat, you are just dreaming. If you are not careful, or if you don't take time, according to the writer, he said the Biafra project and Nnamdi Kanu will consume anyone who try to collaborate with you, because we have the backing of the almighty Chukwu Biama, onye primi ihe niile, and that is where we stand on daily basis. Biafra have come to stay. Biafra have no any kind of fear or whatsoever in what the Nigerian country is doing. So my dear people and my good listeners of Biafra, I want you to remain resolute. I want you to remain calm. I want you to always have it in the back of your mind that Biafra struggle is not a child's play. We have been ordained. We have been positioned by the Chukwu Biama in the eastern part of the country, because according to the words of the elders, they said the wise men come from the east, and that is the main truth and the main point why they have never allowed Biafrans to go, because our wisdom is trembling. Our wisdom is of the highest order. Our wisdom is giving them a sleepless night. What am I trying to say here? That Biafrans, the enemies we have is not only the Nigerian so-called government, but have enemies almost all over the world. The whites know that once the Nigerian country is liberated, once Biafra is liberated, then be rest assured that other black nations will also be liberated, because we have the key to do it. We have the ignition to turn it on. On several occasions, many black nations have already told us that we are the one that is holding them down. That once we get liberated from our so-called slave masters, that other ones will also learn from us. The most populous black nation on earth, that is Nigeria. We are not doing things right. When we find our feet, when we do things right, then other ones, other low budget countries, we pick from there, and our country will also be liberated. That is why the whites have tried to keep us in this bondage for a very long time. But enough is enough. Let's not draw this thing so far, or draw it very, very far again. This is the time for we to get our freedom. This is the time for us to know that we are not born to be captives. This is time for us to know that we are not born to be slaves. Rather, we are born to be kings and rulers of every nation. That is why you see a typical, on average, Igbo boy or a Biafran, anywhere they find themselves, you must see them that they must blossom in a matter of time. No matter how you do it, we go to a place where the leaves are there's no green leaf there, but we turn them to a vegetation. We make every leaf there green, because we have the zeal. We have been ordained. We have been ordained for this purpose. And we, the Biafrans, are liberated to other nations whose believes in us. And it will happen. It will not be so long. My only prayer is that we all will be alive to witness this coming. Until I come your way again, I still remain your one and only Okute Daily Talk, a channel where the truth is the order of the day, where truth is the breakfast, the lunch, and dinner we had on daily basis. Please do subscribe to my channel, like my contents, share it. Let me hear your comments at the comment section, so that I will know whether I'm doing it right or I'm not doing it right. I still remain your one and only, that Okute man, Okute Daily Talk, from my own corner. Please, have a nice day. Till I come your way again. Bon voyage.